It is now confirmed that Fallout 76 will be a survival multiplayer game with a number of players in the dozens, not thousands, that are released into the newly radiated world of West Virginia. This is 20 years after the bombs have dropped. This time around, there's a huge emphasis on base building, that really unique mechanic that was introduced in Fallout 4. Now we can actually move our bases to different areas in the map. And just to complete that feeling of dissonance, if you're feeling uncomfortable, there are also several nuclear bombs on the map that you as a team or individually can find codes for, decide on where those nukes are sent, search through the wreckage to get more resources to build more places, and so on and so forth until we all die and the Earth goes into heat death. This embodiment of the manifest destiny ideal that Fallout 76 has, of building, growing, destroying, and repeating, completely loses that unique perspective that Fallout games have had since the early 90s. Feeling like the other, navigating a world that is familiar enough to understand, but twisted enough to seem enticing. Fallout 2, Fallout New Vegas, even for its pitfalls, Fallout 4, all relied on navigating an established world that clings to these sociological remnants of specific moments in American culture. And you, the player, understanding these motives, then decide what to do with them. Quite literally, it was the fallout from mankind's folly. Remember the nuances of even a game like Fallout 3, the difficulty of making that choice, whether or not you wanted to fire one singular nuke, or experiencing maybe that new age version of Christianity in the incredible DLC in Fallout New Vegas from Joshua Graham. These were all important moments, not because it was created by the player, but it was brilliantly crafted by the minds of Bethesda and Obsidian to feel like a real society that has changed over the hundreds of years that it has been affected by this nuclear rot. What we know about Fallout 76, though, seems to be that it is continuing the path that it went down in Fallout 4, that a lot of people didn't enjoy, and that a lot of games are going into now. A live service that never ends. It's not about creating a very expensive and very difficult nuanced story. It's about creating tools that we beta test and work until it is perfect, and then allowing players to kill each other with them. We're seeing it with Anthem. We're now seeing it in Fallout 76. And I just think that fundamentally this is missing the great things that Fallout had to offer. Anyone that remembers these sort of games back in the 90s and early 2000s, Interplay, who originally made these games, wanted to make a Fallout Online that was called Van Buren. Didn't get off the ground, didn't have the tools to do it. But since that time, this brand really represented probably some of the best exploration games in existence. It was about finding how the world was different and experiencing it. It was about making those changes with established factions. Now, this time around in Fallout 76, we do have the opportunity to play by yourself, but again, there was just no mention whatsoever of the established narrative. This seems a lot more like Ark, a lot more like a wannabe Destiny. Fundamentally, it's kind of representative of where games are going in 2018, where everything needs to be built and destroyed, be big and flashy, and last forever, as opposed to a single-use experience. And it's kind of strange, considering last year, Bethesda was the group that said again and again, we support and love single-player games. Will this be an incredibly fun experience that I think will be refined? Absolutely. Bethesda makes some of the best games ever, but I do kind of lament the loss of what these games used to try to say about representing what big ideas would last through the fallout of mankind. And now we're just getting to see how much fun it is to blow each other up, and weren't there enough games that did that?